Hello and hi, welcome to this video, and I hope it will be a good one. So I just wanted to talk about how the environments that what a person lives in, like the culture, the society, and the people they surround themselves with, how all that affects someone's decision making. Um, because sometimes we make decisions, but are all the decisions that we make based on the other people's influence on yourself, or are they based on your own true beliefs and values? Like, sometimes we end up making if you look back and on the decisions you've made in the past, some of them you realize most of them you've made them according to what you think or what you believe, or um and all that, but because they're all their own decisions, and they're not based on anyone else's thoughts, or what anyone else thinks, or what they're not just based on other people, but they're based on what you truly believe to be the right thing to do. But there are other people who struggle to they're so indecisive, so they struggle to come to a conclusion on things, and make a decision. So they will sometimes try to consider so many different factors, so many different advices from different people, um, especially when they find like they find making a certain decision really hard. It's a tough one, and they're not sure what to do, then and they have to make a decision. So they try to consider so many different factors, so many different advices, consulting other people that they trust on advising them, and not because they want to use their advice as their own decision, but they're trying to consider different views on a particular matter, and then come up with a conclusion based on everything, having considered everything, having considered different options, and then come up with an overall well-rounded decision. So you got to be careful. Like, sometimes when you ask so many different people, and then when so many different people advise you on something, um, your final decision might be affected by that. So your final decision might be affected by that, and then at the end of the day you might think, well, did I make the right decision? Was that decision 100% my own thoughts, or 100% my own, based on my own values and beliefs, or was he influenced by other people? So, and then the more people you ask, the more confused it can be, the more, because everyone has their own different views and opinions and stuff. So you're thinking, oh, I like this opinion, I like that view, I like that point. But then when we ask someone else, and they have a completely opposite opinions and views, and you're like, oh, actually, yeah, maybe that's not right. And then the more people you involved in your decisions, the more confused and complicated it gets, and then it gets really stressful. It might have been a simple decision to make, but because you thought the right thing to do is to consider every option, every aspect, and you only ask advice from people you trust, um, and then it can mess up. It can just make the whole thing so hard and so confusing, and then you struggle to come. It makes it even worse to come up with a decision, with a final decision, because everything becomes worse, and it's stressful and confusing. So sometimes it's not the best thing to do is not to, even though you might trust the people around you, sometimes it's best not to involve them in all your decision making, and just it's okay to rely on your own beliefs and values, because at the end of the day, it's your decision, and at the end of the day, that decision will only affect you most of the times. So it's important to make your own decisions based on what you truly believe is right. And I think that's very, very important, because you don't want to regret later on, thinking, well, I should actually. Don't let fear pressure disturb you, or don't let fear pressure affect how you think or what you do. Decisions that you make impact you in that sense. Don't let fear pressure do that to you, because it could be easy. It's easier to like let fear pressure take over, because like even like when it comes to buying, saying you're renting a house, where to rent or where to live, or buying a house if you can afford to buy a house. So many different decisions, and you're thinking, oh yeah, this, what kind of a house to rent, or what kind of house to buy. And then you're letting, like, even society, like a lot of people try to impress other people. It is a natural thing for humans to try and have something that they feel proud of, something that belongs to themselves, and that they feel proud to show to other people in their circle, and feel like they feel like they've accomplished something. And so, I mean, it's fine, but I think some people take it to the next level. They take it too far, and they try everything they do. They try to impress other people, and then at the end of the day, when you're thinking, well, did I really want to get that? Did I really make the right decision for myself and my family, or did I just want to impress people? And then even money can be involved in things like this. Like if you're spending a lot of money to buy a certain house, or rent a house in a location where maybe it's posh, maybe it's luxurious, and the house, it looks amazing and everything, and you can just about afford it, but you're doing all that to impress others. Because if you truly think about it, did I need to spend all that money on this house, or this kind of house, to live in this area? Partially yes, because, sorry, excuse the noise, there's always noise around here, because I think they're building things. So I'm gonna wait for that noise to calm down. Okay, it's gone now. So anyway, so partially, by having spent all that money to live in a fancy house or in a fancy neighborhood, partially yes, is to you need it, but that's just partially. But then the rest of the reason for doing that is really to impress other people. Yeah, to impress your friends, to impress anyone else that comes to your, sees it and all that. Anyone else that sees that. But if that's the thing. So you're letting other sources, external sources, to affect your decisions. And like I said, money can be involved in this. You might end up spending the money that you don't have just to achieve things like this. And then mainly is not because you could have done without spending. You could have gotten a nice house still, and in a nice place, and it'd be cheaper for you, which is good for you, because then you end up saving more money for yourself and for your family. And then that would probably have been the right decision 100% for yourself and for your family, because even though you're not impressing anyone, but you're okay with it's benefiting you financially. But yeah, so all of us humans, we try to, it's a natural thing really, to try to impress other people and try to let other sources affect our decisions. But yeah, it's important to put your foot down and only allow yourself, your decisions that you make, come truly and 100% come from your own beliefs, your own values, your own strength, what you consider to be right. And because at the end of the day, you're the only one who's going to be affected by whatever that comes out of that decision. Yeah. And so yeah, a lot of people have lost money, trying to impress other people, or I don't know. At the end of the day, if it turns out the way you didn't like it and you're rethinking it, and you see that decision, if I did it this way, then it could have, maybe it would have been better. And why did I make that decision? Oh yeah, then you realize it wasn't really for you, it was just to impress other people. So okay, that's all I wanted to share today, and I hope that was something that someone found useful and helpful. And I'm thanking you for watching, for visiting this channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.